So Marsau decided to call out Martell on his recent interview with Dustin Ross on Carlos King YouTube channel. Now, he said that what Martell did was outrightly wrong, and he still said, irrespective of the fact that he and Melody are not really that close, or they've always had their issues, doesn't take away from the fact that Martell is wrong, and he will say Martell is wrong, because what he did, attempting or trying to bring out that revenge P, was something that he himself cannot think of. He cannot think about. There should be boundaries when people, according to Martell, when people push you, there should be a boundary. And I love that, because a lot of people are supporting Martell simply because they don't like Melody. At one point, we will get to the part where we say wrong is wrong, right is right. If you haven't watched the full YouTube channel, go to Carlos King YouTube channel and watch the full YouTube video.
If you thought the drama around Love and Marriage Huntsville had already reached its peak, what just happened might completely change how you see everything. Because this time, it's not just rumors, side eyes, or shady comments. This time, it's something deeper, something that hits right at the heart of loyalty, friendship, and trust. Out of nowhere, Marsau Scott stepped forward with a revelation that has fans questioning everything they thought they knew. And the way he said it, calm, direct, almost like he'd been holding it in for a long time. He didn't scream, he didn't argue, he simply laid it out in a way that made people stop and listen. According to Marsau, the connection between Martell Holt and Destiny Payton may not have started after the divorce like many believed. No, what he hinted at suggests something much more complicated, something that goes back to a time when Martell was still married to Melody Shari.
I'll tell you one thing, Carlos was not playing with that Martell sitting on that seat, and that Mel.
Mel was not happy about that.
Did she say that to you?
When we was walking out. And then she was like, the disrespect of Martell. She's like, first of all, I'm your wife. I'm supposed to be held in a high regard.
You're not.
Well, his ex-wife, but still.
Well, see, I think the problem is that everybody had that issue that they brought up. You so wishy-washy. One day you like this, the next day you like this. You just don't know what to get.
But you...
Jesus.
What happened with that, y'all, the ATL trip? Like, wasn't Maurice there too?
I don't remember if Maurice was there or not.
Yeah, Maurice definitely was there. It's all of you guys. Y'all went on the guys' trips. I don't know why he would say no to that. Not okay.
I didn't remember seeing Reese.
Now you want to lie.
No, I'm just... Memory is a hard thing to come by today.
And just like that, the entire timeline fans have been holding on to starts to fall apart. Because if that's true, this isn't just messy, it's betrayal on a whole different level. But here's the thing, this story didn't just come out of nowhere. To really understand why this moment feels so heavy, you have to go back to where it all started. Back to when everything looked perfect on the surface.
There's a rumor and I don't need no admissions, all right? I'm just really talking about just making sure you're good.
Yeah.
And if you need anything, I'm there.
I appreciate that.
All right.
But everything's good though.
All right, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Hold up. If Martell and Melody are so good, then why is Melody bringing this up at dinner like it still bothers her?
Hello?
Momo.
What's up, Solo?
So me and Tell, we out here a lot. I had some concerns from the other night when we talked at dinner.
Okay.
You know how Mel brought up the whole stuff and it got a little uncomfortable.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that he was all good for everything we got going on. Because when we're talking about getting this whole thing together, getting this whole initiative together, you know, we need everybody's game face.
That's always a concern.
Martell said it happened over a year ago and he's back to being perfect, so that's a good thing. I think he's good. He ain't gonna be on no more of that.
We probably should meet up, man, instead of just conversing over the phone, because I'd like to see exactly how things shake out.
All right, cool. We'll do.
Martell and Melody weren't just another couple on reality TV. They were the couple, the image of success, partnership, and growth. They built businesses together, raised a family, and carried themselves like a team that couldn't be broken. From the outside, it looked like they had it all figured out. But behind closed doors, things were already starting to crack. Martell's affair with another woman became one of the most talked about scandals in the show's history. What started as whispers slowly turned into confirmation, and once the truth came out, it didn't just shake their marriage, it shattered it in front of the world.
truth to come out about him and things that he's done. But it's okay for him to discuss me or to kick me while I'm down or talk about my infidelity like it's humorous or something like that. It's like a lot of things that he has put my wife and I through. Discuss me or to kick me while I'm down or talk about my infidelity like it's humorous or something like that. It's like a lot of things that he has put my wife and I through, by him lying and misleading. We don't even have a friendship no more. Hey, things time together.
I don't know where it goes from here. All I know is that intentionally trying to hurt my family and myself after I've always tried to be there in those situations, this is tough. So, man.
I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my face is smacking my face.
Melody tried to hold on for as long as she could. You could see it in her face, in her voice, in the way she kept showing up, even when everything inside her was falling apart. She wasn't just fighting for a relationship, she was fighting for her family, for stability, for something she believed was worth saving. But sometimes, no matter how hard you fight, the damage runs too deep. And through all of that pain, through all those emotional moments, there were people standing around them, friends, support systems, people they trusted. One of those people was Destiny. At the time, Destiny appeared to be in Melody's corner. She was someone who seemed supportive, someone who listened, someone who understood the weight of what Melody was going through. And that's why what Marsau is now hinting at feels so unsettling. Because if Destiny and Martell had any kind of connection during that marriage, that changes everything.
The part of the harassing communications was you sending the picture.
No,
Right.
no, it wasn't.
Okay, that's the question I got to ask. The question is, how do you feel about that? That makes me lose respect for Martell.
If it was true.
If it was true, yeah. I didn't
So
say
now
it was
that
true.
he's saying
I
it
assumed it
wasn't
was true.
You assumed it
now
was?
that he's saying that it's not true, how do you feel about it?
I don't know if I can believe Martell.
It means the betrayal wasn't just inside the relationship. It might have been sitting right next to it. Now, fast forward to the present, and suddenly Marsau's words are hitting different. He didn't come out and say everything directly, but he didn't have to. The way he framed it, the tone he used, the timing of it all, it was enough to send fans into a frenzy. And what nobody expected was how quickly people started connecting the dots. Old scenes are being replayed. Conversations that once seemed harmless are now being looked at through a completely different lens. Moments where Destiny defended Martell are being questioned. The way they interacted, the way they laughed, the way they seemed comfortable around each other, it all feels different now. And that's where things get complicated. Because if there really was something there before the divorce, it means this situation goes beyond simple friendship. It suggests secrecy. It suggests hidden feelings. It suggests that while Melody was trying to save her marriage, there may have been something happening behind her back that she didn't even know about. That's a hard thing to process, and fans are not taking it lightly. Social media has been exploding with reactions. Some people are saying Marsau finally said what others were too afraid to say. Others believe he's stirring the pot and making assumptions without proof. But no matter which side people are on, one thing is clear: his words hit a nerve, especially when it comes to Martell. Because, let's be honest, Martell's history already makes this harder to ignore. His past actions have already damaged his credibility, so when new accusations or hints come up, people are quicker to believe that there might be truth behind them. And then there's Destiny. Her silence right now is louder than anything she could say. She hasn't rushed to defend herself, she hasn't come out with a clear denial, she's simply stayed quiet, letting the conversation grow around her. And while some people see that as her protecting her peace, others see it as something else entirely. Because in situations like this, silence can feel like confirmation, even if it's not. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Marsau and Martell weren't always at odds like this. There was a time when they stood on the same side. They supported each other, worked together, moved like allies. So for Marsau to step out now and say something that could potentially damage Martell's image even more, that says a lot. It suggests this isn't just random gossip. It feels personal. It feels like something that's been building up over time. And when you look closer, you can see the tension that's been growing between them. Small disagreements, subtle shifts in how they interact, moments where it felt like they weren't fully on the same page anymore. This revelation might just be the breaking point, because once something like this is said publicly, there's no taking it back. Now the entire group dynamic is shifting. Lines are being drawn, people are choosing sides, and the sense of unity that once held everything together is starting to crack. Meanwhile, all eyes are on Melody. She hasn't come out with a big statement. She hasn't addressed Marsau's comments directly, but her silence carries weight, because people who have followed her journey know how much she's already been through. To think that after everything she endured, there might be more layers to the betrayal, that's not easy to sit with. It's the kind of pain that doesn't just disappear. It lingers. It resurfaces when you least expect it. And even if she's moved on, even if she's built a new life for herself, moments like this have a way of pulling you back into feelings you thought you left behind. And that's what makes this situation so emotional. This isn't just about drama for entertainment. These are real relationships, real emotions, real consequences. Marcel's words didn't just create headlines, they reopened wounds. And now everything feels uncertain. Will Martell respond and try to shut this down? Will Destiny finally speak and clear the air? Or will the silence continue, leaving fans to piece together the story on their own? One thing is certain though, this isn't over. Because once a secret starts to come to light, it doesn't just stop halfway. It keeps unfolding. It keeps revealing new layers. And sometimes the truth that comes out is even bigger than what anyone expected. At its core, this whole situation is about trust, about how easily it can be broken, about how the people you think are in your corner might not always be who they seem. And in a world where everything is already under a microscope, where every move is watched and analyzed, the pressure only makes things harder, because there's no hiding from it. Not anymore. As the dust starts to settle, one thing becomes painfully clear. The relationships within this circle may never go back to what they once were. Too much has been said, too many questions have been raised, and even if answers come later, the damage might already be done. For Melody, this could be another test of her strength. For Martell, it could be another moment where his past comes back to challenge his present. And for Destiny, it might be the moment where she has to decide whether to finally speak or continue letting the silence tell her story. And Marsau? He's already made his move. He's already said enough to shake everything up. Now, all that's left is to see what happens next. Because in Love and Marriage Huntsville, the truth doesn't stay hidden forever. And when it finally comes out, it changes everything.